So it turns out Israel actually destroyed a nuclear weapons site just 19 miles southeast of Tehran. We're going to get into the crazy details on that story. Also, Hezbollah and Iran itself may be close to making a deal with Israel to end this war. I'm Ben Hilton, and this is the Israel Guys. Axios reported this last weekend that last month in their airstrikes on Iran, Israel destroyed a secret nuclear weapons research facility in Parchin, just 19 miles southeast of Tehran. This wasn't reported at the time because this was a secret establishment in Iran, so not a known active nuclear site. Apparently, the Institute for Science and International Security was able to get high-resolution satellite imagery of the facility, which shows it was completely destroyed on October 26, which was when Israel did their latest attack on Iranian soil. Apparently, the site was used to store complex equipment that was used for testing the detonators for nuclear weapons, according to U.S. and Israeli officials. Israeli and U.S. intelligence began noticing activity at the site back earlier this last year, in 2024, even though the installation was supposed to be completely offline since 2003, according to an unnamed U.S. official. Quote, the Iranians conducted scientific activity that could lay the ground for production of a nuclear weapon. It was a top secret thing. A small part of the Iranian government knew about this, but most of the Iranian government didn't. It seems like Israel chose this location to strike because Biden had requested Israel not strike Iran's nuclear facilities before the attack. And technically, the site in Parchin wasn't one of Iran's declared facilities, so kind of fair game for Israel despite Biden's warning. And I think this was a solid warning to Iran. Israel is saying that they have the ability to hit wherever they want inside of Iran. And if given the permission by the U.S. government, they could totally obliterate the decades of research Israel has put into building a nuclear weapon in a matter of seconds. They could destroy all of it in a matter of seconds for Iran. And it seems like the warning just might be working, that possibly in conjunction with Trump winning the presidency here in the United States, because just this last Sunday, Iran signaled that they may be willing to open negotiations about their nuclear program. Their foreign minister said in a statement, we believe the window for diplomacy is still open, albeit for a short time, provided the other parties demonstrate genuine willingness. And I think that they should be open for diplomacy at this point. Israel is destroying Hamas in Gaza. They refuse to let up their attacks. The entire command structure of Hamas has been totally obliterated. And tunnel by tunnel, unit by unit, they are being completely destroyed. The power Iran has spent nearly 2 decades building in Gaza really no longer exists. Also, Iran has attacked Israel twice now with ballistic missiles and failed miserably both times. Meanwhile, Israel has taken out Iran's entire air defense system and proved that they can fly basically wherever they want over Iranian airspace. Really, the only thing that has restrained Israel from bombing Iran's military and nuclear facilities so far has been the Biden administration. And that administration is quickly on the way out the door. While it is very unlikely that Trump would bomb Iran himself unless seriously provoked, I think we all can easily imagine that Trump would have no difficult time in giving Israel his full blessing to do whatever they need to do in Iranian over Iranian airspace, including destroying all of Iran's nuclear facilities. This gives Iran one serious front left with Hezbollah on Israel's north, and we'll get into what's happening there in just a second. But first, the horrific Hamas massacre of over 1,200 Israelis on October 7th was not just an attack on the Jewish people, it was an attack on the Bible itself. As anti-Israel hatred spills into the streets worldwide, an unholy alliance of Islamic jihadists and anti-Bible woke progressives has united to wage war against God's word. Israel and the Jews are first, America and Christians are next. That's why my friend Rabbi Elie Michel's new book, The War Against the Bible, Ishmael, Esau, and Israel at the End Times, is a must-read for every Bible believer. Rabbi Michel takes a deep dive into the prophecies of the Bible to explain current events and humanity's rebellion against the one true God. This book will steel your resolve to fight for the Bible's truth and be watchmen for salvation who stand up to the lies and darkness. Get your copy of The War Against the Bible today by clicking the link in the description and join the fight for God, Israel, and the soul of America. So really, Iran has one major front left in their attack against Israel, and that is Hezbollah. Israel has been plowing ahead in their invasion of southern Lebanon since Hezbollah has been endlessly attacking Israel since October 7th. Israel has finally taken the ball into their own court and been invading southern Lebanon, pushing Hezbollah off of their border. They've been killing as many Hezbollah terrorists as they possibly can, destroying their infrastructure, their tunnels below ground and infrastructure above ground, confiscating as much military equipment as they possibly can. Meanwhile, Hezbollah continues to fire rockets into population centers in Israel. Just today, 5 Israelis were injured, 4 in central Israel and 1 in the north. And one of the barrages, a surface-to-surface missile, broke into pieces after being intercepted by the Iron Dome, and one of the pieces hit outside of the Aylan Mall in Ramat Gan, causing a fire. A 54-year-old woman was seriously injured in that attack, and 4 more people were lightly injured as well. In the same attack, an Israeli in Bnei Brak ran onto the road when the sirens started going off and was hit by a car. Last night, a rocket hit a 3-story building in Shfaram, and an Israeli was tragically killed. 30 others were wounded as well in that same attack. It's likely that even though Israel is making a lot of progress in Lebanon, that the rockets will continue to come until the war is officially over. The territory in Lebanon, southern Lebanon, is so large that Hezbollah there's a lot of open area that they can shoot from. And also the terrain makes it very easy for Hezbollah to hide rocket launchers in a variety of places that's difficult for Israel to track down and destroy. Also, Hezbollah has been known to keep the rocket launchers on trucks and move them around into different places, making it especially difficult for Israel to root out, because as soon as they spot one, they can move all the other trucks in the area to a different spot to avoid detection. There are signs that the war may be coming to an end, though. A top aide to the parliament speaker in Lebanon told Reuters today that Hezbollah had formally delivered its response to the ceasefire agreement proposed by the U.S. to the U.S. ambassador. He went on to hint that the response was a positive atmosphere, whatever that means. Even though a deal with Hezbollah might be in the works sometime soon, God willing, this war might come to an end. God willing, for a good deal, a really, really good deal. Israel has signaled that they're going to keep pushing as hard as they possibly can. The more progress that they make right now in their front against Hezbollah, the more likely they are to get a really good deal with Hezbollah. A really good deal meaning Hezbollah completely disarms, and that southern Lebanon is kept as a buffer zone for Israel's security, that Hezbollah, any terrorist organizations, will not be allowed into southern Lebanon, and that a good system will be set up in place to keep that from happening, that Israel will maintain hopefully some sort of security control over southern Lebanon and on their northern border to make sure a situation like what was built up before October 7th never happens again. Israel cannot sit with 150,000 rockets pointed at their northern border, at their population centers, just waiting for the time bomb to go off and for Hezbollah to attack like they did after October 7th. They can't allow a threat like that to be on their northern border, or any of their borders for that matter. But either way, I think that we will be seeing the end of major fighting, God willing, sometime in the near future. And hopefully this end to major hostilities will leave Israel in a much, much better position security-wise than they were a year ago. Guys, we need to keep praying for Israel, that their enemies would flee from before them, and that God would bring them a complete victory, and peace once again would come to Israel's borders. Don't forget to check out Rabbi Eli's new book, The War Against the Bible. The link is in the description. Make sure to subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, stop listening to the lies and propaganda and connect with the truth of what is happening in Israel. We'll be back here soon at the Israel Guys.